So today is kind of a special day for me. It has been 1 year today that I simultaneously on December 1st last year, I retired and I hit the road in my micro mini travel trailer and started my retirement adventure. So I thought it was appropriate to do a 1 year anniversary recap about retirement, what I feel about it, what I think about it, and I thought it would be appropriate to do that. I'm going to drive into Quartzsite, and this is a little back entrance to the highway that's really near my site that I love. I don't have to go through the main part of what they call, I'm in a place called La Posa South long-term visitor area, and a long-term visitor area is BLM land that you pay a fee for the season, in this case $180, and you don't have to move. You can stay there the whole season, basically from September through I think the middle of April, and no one really stays to April because it gets too friggin' hot. Anyway, this is where I am, and I have this little escape hatch here, escape road to get me on the highway, and I'm going into Quartzsite. And the first thing that I want to say is, those of you may know, I spent a whole summer camp hosting on the lake in beautiful Sandpoint, Idaho, some of the most beautiful, exciting country in the anywhere. And it was, don't get me wrong, I loved it, but I am in love with the desert, and I can't really explain why. Something in my heart connects with the desert, and I just love being here. And I have plenty of company here. Lots of people love to come to Quartzsite in the winter, and a lot of people come and spend the whole winter here in Quartzsite. So I've just managed to get myself on Arizona 95, and you see the sign up here for my long-term visitor area, and I'll show you the actual entrance that I'm avoiding going in and out of due to this secret back way out. And I'm pretty careful about the speed limit. Anyway, so I took off. I went from Virginia to Nevada, spent 30 days in Nevada establishing my legal residency. So I stayed there for 30 days, registered the vehicles, paid my taxes, and then I headed over to Quartzsite. And I was there in Quartzsite from, I think I got there around the 10th or 11th of January, attended the Next Exit. Next Exit is a YouTube channel, Bob and Pearl. I attended their rally and stayed, I think, mid-March. Headed up to Idaho for my camp hosting job and did that. Slowly made my way back down through. I stayed in Pahrump for a month coming back down here. Saw a good friend of mine, Jeannie, in Las Vegas, and did a lot of camping in sort of remote areas and aimlessly driving around until I decided to come back to Quartzsite. And here I am. And right now I'm driving into town, into the great metropolis of Quartzsite. So how do I feel about things? Well, this, in many, many ways, is the best year I have had in, it seems dramatic to say in my life, but if it's not the best year I've ever had, it's in the top 2 or 3. It has been amazing. I had visited out here. I had talked to my good friend Deborah Dickinson, who also has a YouTube channel. Check her channel out. And she's been doing this since it was starting to become popular. She knows people like Bob Wells. Actually used to camp with him back in the beginning before he was well known. And so she has a lot of experience. So I got a lot of information from her, and I watched hours and hours of YouTube channels. hours and hours. Pluses and minuses of doing this, and I had an Excel spreadsheet for my finances that I swear to God I tweaked every single day for a year. I did a lot of preparation, and I had pretty high expectations, I will say. And as a good therapist, I was preparing myself for maybe a little disappointment, and there was no disappointment. It was, in fact, this has been better than I anticipated, and better than I hoped for. The community of people that I've met and the way community functions in the Nomad world is, it fits me. It fits me like a glove. People take care of each other. Whatever expertise that you may have, you contribute to people in the community that need help, and you get that back. And there are people that know how to do stuff that I have no idea. One in particular, my buddy Tim, who I met at that rally last year. We're camping together this year, and Tim is my expert on all things mechanical and electrical, and he definitely saved me time and money for sure. And he found some pretty dangerous things going on in my battery and solar setup, and I did not realize how potentially dangerous even 12-volt electricity can be. He really opened my eyes and taught me a lot about maintenance of my system and keeping the system and myself safe, and not electrocuting myself, or more likely starting a fire. The thing was, I wasn't paying. I'm turning around here. I just took you through Tyson Wells, where like this enormous flea market happens in the big tent show that happens every January, and the vendors are just starting to come in. So it's not huge right now, but the vendors are starting to come in. Over to the left here, I don't know if you can see it, is it's the kitchen gadget tent. I love this place. K&K Kitchen Supply. I love going there. Over to the right, back in there, is a place called Beer Bellies. And it's a bar that serves cheeseburgers and stuff, but they have live music. And I love the music that they do. It's people my age hang out there. And I know I don't drink, but I don't care. I'll have water or a Diet Coke, and they have good cheeseburgers, and I have a lot of fun going there with friends. That's a thing to do. It's called Beer Bellies, and it's also referred to as the adult daycare, which is pretty funny. So I went through, this is Kuhn Street. I went through where all that stuff is, just to kind of show you that, and then we're going to make a left here, and we're going to go into Quartzsite. But back to how I feel about this. So the community's one thing. The whole idea of having my little trailer and sort of farming sunlight for my electrical needs and being self-sufficient like that is really, really cool. I really like it. I feel responsible, that I'm generating my own electricity. I'm taking care of, I'm getting water. I found a way to get water into my freshwater tank easily, and found a way. I kind of laugh. I'm going to say I found a way to efficiently dump my waste. They call it black water, and basically it's poop. And I'm laughing because what I do is I attach what's called a macerator pump to my sewer line, and it basically grinds and pumps the sewage out through like a designated garden hose into a portable tank that I put in the back of my pickup truck. And I bought a new pump, more powerful than I thought. The hose popped out, and it spread poo everywhere. And all you could, well, I just laughed. It was, being a paramedic, I saw my share of poo, and this was my own poo. Yes, was it disgusting? Yeah, but was it funny? It was also funny. I found a way to clean everything up, and it's over, and I'm not going to make that particular mistake again. So here we are, and I was just turned on Main Street here in Quartzsite, and there's a couple, it's a little tiny town. It really is little tiny. And there's no, Walmart or big box, big retailers. It's all local businesses. And here is a little pizza place called Silly Al's Pizza. And I tell you, I've had pizza in New York and Chicago and LA and Dallas, and it's not the best pizza that I've ever had, but it's up there. It's friggin' good pizza in a little small town. And up here, we're going to pass in a little while, is a new Chinese place, and it was really good Chinese food, in the middle of Quartzsite, Arizona, and the husband and wife own it. They're obviously Chinese. There's a pretty big language barrier, but there's no culinary barrier. It's good Chinese food. I've been there twice now, and I've only been here 2 weeks, and I've been to the Chinese place twice. So up here too is, you find all these interesting little things here. You see the yellow tank up there that says K&B. There's like a marketplace there, almost a little smaller scale flea market. But there's a woman there that makes these wonderful sourdough breads, and I think she said she makes like 9 of them a day, and they are so good. It is really good bread. It's $9, but it's a gigantic loaf of sourdough, and I've been breaking off little pieces of mine for a few days now, and it's staying fresh from day to day, and it's just really good stuff. So as we get up here, we're gonna be at the end of this end of town. There's not a lot left. But back to how I feel about this lifestyle and retirement. I've been thinking about this video for quite some time. For 24 hours, I've been thinking, what kind of video am I going to do? What am I going to say? And one of the things I thought was important was to, I'm obviously very enthusiastic, but there have to be drawbacks and negatives, and I should be honest about those. And I'm more than happy to be honest about the negatives and the drawbacks. But there aren't any. I can't think of any. I'm sorry. Somebody said, well, what about your poo thing? And I said, that doesn't even count as a drawback. It was funny. I really did think it was funny. I was a little horrified the second it happened, but as soon as, I got it shut up and I realized what happened, it was funny. It wasn't stressful. That's what happened, in Nomads love poo stories. I tell you, most of the views I get in this video probably end up being other nomads, because they can all relate. Every nomad that's been out here for any length of time has got a poo story. The other thing is, I've paid a lot more attention to my YouTube channel. I don't do any fancy editing or anything, as you're going to see in this one. I just kind of go into iMovie and cut out the parts that are obviously just garbage, and I put whatever I've got left up there, and I've gotten really close to the number of subscribers I need to monetize. Well, close. I started retirement with 80 subscribers. I've got 571 or something now. That's a lot in terms of increase. I need 1,000 and I'll be monetized, and I'm never going to be a big YouTube channel because I'm not going to put the time into it. But if I could get $100 every couple of months, that would be I'd be pretty happy with that. So that's motivated me to just do more videos like this. I've been doing a thing called Mental Health Minute, where, it's kind of for my therapist, thing, where I do a 1-minute video on a basic concept in mental health that may be helpful to people. I have a lot of fun doing those. I do like a lot of how-to RV stuff, and actually how Rob does RV stuff. It's not exactly a professional how-to, but it's how I've done RV stuff, and people seem to be kind of interested in that. There's the ice cream shop here called Dorothy and Toto's, and I've never been there. I'm going to go in there because I'd like to get some. I don't have any ice cream in the freezer. I'd like to have some, and I'm wondering if they sell it like by the quart or anything. So I'm going to go in there and check it out. It's right across from I was talking about Silly Al's. There's Silly Al's Pizza. There's a young waitress in there. She's stunningly gorgeous, but she looks just like Jerry Ryan. Well, a young Jerry Ryan. Not that Jerry Ryan isn't still gorgeous. I think she is, but Jerry Ryan was 7 of 9 in Star Trek Voyager, and just a stunning woman, great actress. But this young woman, I think, looks just like her. Anyway, I'm going to go in and see we got ice cream, and I'll be back and I'll let you know what I found. So, I did get some ice cream. They don't sell like quarts or half gallons, but they sell it to you in a very large cup. It's probably a little over a pint. But I got huckleberry ice cream, which is something very familiar to me after living in North Idaho for a while. And here's one of the things I love about being retired and having sort of the life and the attitude that I do. I go slow now. I'm not in a hurry. Not in a hurry to go in and buy ice cream and get out of there and finish my errands. So I walked outside and smiled at some people, and they said, "What'd you get?" And I said, "I got huckleberry." And this woman says, "Oh, I know huckleberry. I'm from Idaho." And I smiled and I said, "Me too. I used to live in Idaho." She goes, "Where?" I said, "Sandpoint." And she goes, "Oh my God, Priest River," which is right next to Sandpoint. So we're from the same place. And I have delightful encounters like that almost every day. And especially, it's really encouraged me to do. I promised them the business I'd do a little YouTube 1-minute video on their business, because I've been doing a lot of that in local businesses in Quartzsite. And when I do it, you don't want to video somebody's business without their permission. So you go in and you say, "Hey, I have a YouTube channel. I'd like to do it. Is it okay with you if I do a video?" And that leads to, they want to talk to you, and you get to know people that run these businesses and their life story. And it's so wonderful, all the people that I'm getting to meet. Now, here's the other end of town. There's Taco Mia is a Mexican restaurant I went to once a couple years ago for breakfast. They had a great breakfast burrito. And here's their 2 markets in town. The one on the left is called Roadrunner Market, and up here there's another one called the Coyote Market. Is that a coincidence? I think not. I know for sure it's not a coincidence. I did sort of promo videos, tours of both those businesses, and I had heard through the grapevine that there was sort of some bad blood or something, and someone split off from one store and started the other and did the Roadrunner Coyote thing. And when I was doing the Coyote, I talked to a guy, the guy was doing the meats, and he's the brother of the owner. The owner is his sister and his brother and her husband. And he told me the real story. They used to both work at Roadrunner. They had a falling out with the owner, and they bought this other store and named it Coyote for the obvious reasons. So it's kind of a delightful little story. And both businesses are pretty cool. They're little, kind of mom and pop grocery stores. And I tell you, I don't know how they do it in January. In January, this place explodes with visitors, and every one of these businesses are so overworked. It's incredible. And over here, Discount Solar, it's a solar place that I do business with, and I did a promo video for them, so I got to know them a little bit. There's a big laundry place over here. I met the owner of the laundry place and did a little promo video, and I just love doing my little 1-minute videos of all these businesses. And it's, slowing down and really talking to people and not being in a rush it's kind of a nirvana for me. It gives me such a sense of joy and peace. It's hard to put it into words. I didn't expect this. There's a bunch of people that camp together near where I'm camped, and it's a semi-organized thing, though you're not supposed to have real organized camps on the federal land. But this guy's been the Mobile Traveler, Randy. He has the YouTube channel is the Mobile Traveler. People have been camping with him for years, and he used to call it, up until this year, he called it the Dead End Camp. And this year he thought, that's too negative, so he changed the name to the Spot. So, but not everyone is totally embracing that. The people still call it the Dead End Camp. But anyway, I sort of visited there last year. I liked it, but it didn't feel like I knew anybody and didn't feel like I belonged. And so this year I did a couple of things very deliberately to try to widen the number of people that I know. One was to go to Deborah Dickinson's KOKO, K-O-K-O, that's Keep On Keeping On. She has a get-together once a year, and it's City of Rock State Park in New Mexico. So I went to that, and I knew I'll meet quite a few people there, camping with them. And then I also, Bob Wells has a nonprofit called Home on Wheels Alliance. And so I went and I did that. So I met more people there. And, the jury was out. Is this going to be a big help? And then I got to Quartzsite, and I went to visit that camp, the Dead End Camp or the Spot Camp. And it's like I walked up to a bunch of people and I hear, Rob, hi Rob, hey Rob. It's like, wow, these are people I've all met already. They know me. And even when I went into town, people were yelling my name, hey Rob. Just because I took the time to sort of include myself deliberately in some kind of group activities. And that's made a huge difference. So my circle of friends in the Nomad community is growing really, really quickly, and that really makes me really happy. I wish I could think of something negative just for the sense of being real and genuine, but I can't. The cost was really, about what I thought it was going to be. Certainly you can survive doing this sort of lifestyle on probably $1,000 a month. You would have to be very intentional about where you got your food. I did a couple videos on discount places to get food, and you would have to be careful on your spending. I think at the $2,000 level, you can be comfortable and not have to be quite so vigilant. When we're talking $3,000 or $4,000 a month, then you're going to find, like I do, it's more, it can be more than I need, that's affluence. Affluence is having more resources than you need. And I'm able to put a little something aside every single month because, big things are going to happen, health things are going to happen. My truck may break down. My solar system may need a major overhaul. There are lots of expenses that certainly can come up pretty quickly and unexpectedly. So it's good to build a reserve, and I'm able to do that. A thing that I did was I retired early. Uh, I retired at 62. And that meant a couple of things. One, a big drastic reduction in my Social Security benefits on a monthly basis versus if I waited to later to like full retirement age, which would have been 5 more years, 67, or I waited until 70, 8 years, and I would have gotten the maximum. It's a big chunk of change. And also I have 2 small pensions. I mean, they're, you add them together, they're almost about $1,900 a month, the 2 pensions together. But those don't kick in until I'm 65. Had I stayed with my job, one of those pensions was the job I retired from. It's $1,000 a month. But had I stayed 3 more years, it would have been substantially more money at 65, maybe double or more. So I made the decision to let go of those bigger numbers, waiting longer. And do I regret doing that? And absolutely not. I do not regret doing that. I think it's really important that I'm enjoying my retirement now while I'm enthusiastic and I'm healthy. And you never know what's going to happen with your health. No matter how careful you are, no matter how intentional you are with nutrition and exercise, stuff happens. And what I didn't want to have happen is I wait and I get debilitated somehow and I can't do this lifestyle. And there's no way to know. I could be healthy until I'm 95 or 100. I have no idea. I just had to make a call. And I made the call and I did it. I pulled the trigger and I do not regret it. The joy this has given me for the past 12 months, from December 1st, 2021 till December 1st, 2022, it's been absolutely amazing. And just to illustrate how I'm not in a hurry and I don't rush around to do anything anymore, you might notice I've been sitting here behind this van for quite a few minutes, and I'm filling I want to fill my 6-gallon water container, which I'll pour into my main tank when I get back at camp, my main tank on my travel trailer. And it's taken a pretty long time for them to get their water and everything. And guess what? I'm fine with it. I'm retired. I can sit here and talk to you guys, and if I wasn't doing a video, I could be watching somebody else's video, or I could be talking to Dottie. Where's Dottie? I'm this way. Hi, Dottie. How's my puppy dog? She loves her little bed, and I pretty much take her everywhere with me. Here's somebody coming to talk to me.
Some left in there, so don't put your money and use what I've got.
I do the same thing for people. Thank you so much. Yeah. So what that lady came to tell me was, when you use these water things, you put in quarters, and sometimes you can't use the whole thing. So there's some left, but you sort of like miss that if you put your money in. And she said, hey, just letting you know I got some left, so take it before you put your money in. And I was telling her, hey, I do the same thing for people. Thank you. It's, that's an example of the kind of kindness that you see in this lifestyle. So I've broken certainly the cardinal rule in YouTube of having a video that's way too long, but I went through and tried to cut out stuff that shouldn't be there, and I couldn't find any stuff like that. I feel pretty good about all the stuff I said, and if only a couple of people really find this valuable, I'll be happy. I know I'll go back in the future and when I need to be grateful, and I'll remember how great this year was for me and how good I feel today. I hope everybody's doing well. Take care. Bye.